Close your eyes and imagine this. You have your LinkedIn inbox open, and you are typing that perfect cold outreach message to that prospective client or that professional connect that you badly want to get connected with. You type in that perfect message, you edit it, re-edit it, and reread it. You're just about to hit the send button when a lot of thoughts come into your mind. Whether or not this person is going to respond, whether or not this person is going to read, whether or not you are going to get the response that you are expecting. You can feel the shortness in your breath, the nervousness. However, you hit send. Now you wait. A day passes. 3 days pass. A week passes. And the overwhelming silence confirms one thing, that fear. No response. How do you feel? Do you feel fear? Do you feel embarrassed? Do you feel disrespected? Now you feel frustrated. Open your eyes. How many of you have had this experience at least once in your professional life? Can we raise hands? Okay. We all have gone through some experience like this at least once in our lifetime. You see, we take networking as a numbers game, just like a lottery. We scoop in our hands in a bowl full of cards, hoping that one of them will glow. When we actually know that that approach is exhausting, why do we still do that? Instead, can we think of it in a different way? Can we instead take relationships as a long-term investment, even if it is a professional investment, even if it is a professional relationship? Can we plant a seed, nurture it, and watch it bloom over time? This is exactly what I'm going to talk to you about today. Long ago, early in my career, there was this one person that I admired deeply. And I thought, my connection with that one person could change my entire professional life. And I would be able to get my dream connect. So obviously, I asked around people, how do I get connected with him? And I followed the script, which was to send a message, a cold outreach message, ask for a coffee meeting. And I did that. Like you, I perfectly drafted that email. I took 3 days just to craft that perfect message and reread it so that it becomes the most interesting message that he ever reads. And I hit send, of course. I waited. A day passed, nothing. 3 days passed, nothing. A week passed, and I got a response. The response was, "Thank you for your message. I am busy currently, maybe next time." No date, no warmth, no connection. However, as entrepreneurs, what do? We follow up diligently. We don't give up, right? So I did not give up. I followed up again after a week. And this time, he just left it at seen. I wish I could tell you that I brushed it off, but no. I was hurt. I felt very small and unimportant. I felt like, do I even belong in these rooms? Am I not interesting enough? And I thought, networking, after all, isn't for me. So for months, I withdrew, and I did not pursue any new connections. Not because I lacked ambition, but because I had felt small, and I thought his silence meant I was not valuable. I equated his silence to my worthiness. But then, those months were also a period of reflection for me. And I realized one thing, that people are not responding to you not because they are arrogant, but because they have nothing to latch on to you. They have seen nothing remarkable or memorable about you that can bring back memories into their mind. Now you'd be thinking, when you send a message, how does this happen? There is a way to make this happen, and that was my realization. I would tell you all that he was not interested in me because I had absolutely no digital DNA. He didn't know who was Nezrin. He didn't know what she stood for. Neither did he know what does she care about. Unless he knows that, why would he connect? Because for him, my message was just another message in a crowded inbox. So then I decided the first thing that I need to do is work on my pre-networking skill, which I would call is my digital DNA. I believe that 90% of networking happens before actually meeting the person. And that is in the profile that you make online. And the last 10% is about your handshake or that pitch deck that you provide before the meeting. So I took it step by step slowly, and I created my profile or my digital DNA in simple steps. The first step I did was clarified my story. I found out that unless I could mention in one line online as to who I was and what I cared about, nobody online would get me. So I made that first draft. It was messy, of course, but I made that draft about what do I believe in, what do I stand for, and then I clarified my story on my social profile. The second step, before that, I could tell, here I am online. This is who I am, and this is what I care about. The second step was I shared my expertise. Now, I'm sure each of you sitting here is an expert in one or the other field, right? So I am an expert in education and entrepreneurship, and I shared that online. I did not limit to some motivational quotes. Instead, I posted short videos, reels, write-ups on LinkedIn, everything that was possible by me. I even attached pictures, and I wrote about my experience. I tagged people, and I was real and raw, and I put my vulnerable moments as well on all the social media platforms that I was creating. The second step that I did was I showed I did not stop myself at telling, which means I had posted evidences or proof of my work, my collaborations, my projects, my work, my outcomes, etc. Now when somebody searched me online, they knew exactly who Nezrin was and what she did and what she believes in. There was proof. Step 4, I engaged authentically. So, networking is not just about receiving what you want, but it's also about giving what others want, and that's how you connect. So I engaged with others' posts. I did not just restrict myself to liking their posts. Instead, I commented. I gave my valuable insights on what they had to share. Step 5, easy to connect. I optimized my profile in such a way that anybody who found me online exactly knew when they searched, who is Nezrin? What does she stand for? What does she care about? And how to connect with her. After months of doing this, I had finally created my digital DNA. And after a few years, I was scaling up my large-scale event nationally. And I needed this one investor, and I knew that if that investor invested in our event, I have gained a great validation. So I tracked him down to the corner office, where the kind of office that he was in, where even silence would seem expensive. So I took days to prepare that perfect pitch deck. It was 50 slides long. I had all the numbers perfect, all the financials on the spot, and I had even researched my talk or my presentation multiple times. On the day when I reached the office, I could smell the polished woods and the old books. And there he sat across, the gray-haired man whose validation I was waiting for to get that investment. I felt the shortness of my breath. The weight of the deck in my hand was so heavy, and I was anxious. I felt like that actor who was just about to do that lead role, but all he wanted to be was his real self. So I sat there, and I was just about to open my laptop and present when he said, "I already know you. That's okay." I was surprised, and I said, "But sir, I have not introduced myself." So he said, "No, I mean, I already know your mind. See, I have been following your commentary on the global trends on LinkedIn. I've also watched that short video you posted recently about the MBTI test that you and your employees took. That was interesting. You see, Nezrin, I did not call you here to vet your financials. Instead, I called you to confirm that my first impression about you was correct." Instantly, my nervousness just evaporated, and that's the moment I realized that I had already done my 90% of work, which was I had a good digital DNA, which established a great connect that I always wanted to connect with. Now here, I want to tell you all that I am not talking about having a fancy profile and a lot of followers or likes. I am just talking about having a profile which is authentic, where you share your expertise and you communicate with your audience. For this, before winding up, I would like to tell you 2 simple steps that you can do as of today. How many of you have a digital presence? It can be on LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp. Can you please raise your hands? How many of you have profiles? Good to see most of you already have a profile. Can you do an exercise right now? May I please request you all to take out your phone and open any one platform. It could be your LinkedIn profile. It could be your Instagram profile. Yes. Don't worry, nobody is judging you. Yes. What does your bio say? Your info, your name, and what does it say? Does it say your title, belonging to XYZ company? Does it also say your achievements? I'm sure most of yours would be that way, because mine was too. But let me tell you one thing. Instead of treating our bio with just your current reality and your past achievements, how about making it futuristic? What I mean to say is that your bio should be about who you want to be known as 5 years from now. For example, instead of, if you have your bio as software engineer of XYZ company, can you rewrite it into helping people live easier by building apps? Instead of high school teacher of ABC school, can you write making education fun and lovable? I challenge you to rewrite your bio that way. That will show to any audience who you are, what do you believe in, what do you care about, and what do you stand for. And below can come all your achievements and your other profile. If you see my profile, I have written, enthusiastically creating entrepreneurs of tomorrow, because that's exactly what I want to be known for 5 years from now as well. The second step is curiosity. By curiosity, what I mean is the earlier point that it's not just about receiving something from a connection, but it's also about giving and generating curiosity in somebody else's mind. So we all comment on others' posts, right? What do we do mostly? We put a thumbs up, we put a heart, a like. Sometimes we just write, great post, wow. But that's low value engagement, you see. How about some high value engagement? What do you mean by high value engagement? When somebody writes something, can we comment our opinion, our thoughts on that, our perspective on what they have written? That is high value engagement. With that, what happens is you create an impression in that person's mind. So next time, when you want to send that person a cold outreach message, it's not cold because that person already has an impression about you in their mind. And this is what I mean by curiosity. I just want you to look at this slide. That's how 1,000 people look like in one frame. Why do I show this? Because at least some of you may have the doubts in your mind like how I had earlier. When I posted a reel on Instagram and I saw that I only had 1,000 views instead of 1 million views. When I see this picture, I remember, oh my God, 1,000 is a big number. Look at them, right? So, 1,000 people, 1,000 views, looking at you, listening to what you have shared, and you make a difference in one person's life. Isn't that big enough? So, once again, I repeat, I am not talking about building that fancy profile or large number of views, but optimize your profile in such a way that at least people know what you stand for and what you care about. With that, I'd like to end with a note. This is a mirror. I can see my reflection exactly like how I am when I look in this mirror. That's how your digital DNA needs to be. Your real self, your authentic self, should be put out there online so that next time when you want to connect with someone, it becomes easy. Because for me, this has helped me immensely in my professional life. And today, I want to nudge each one of you to do the same and see the difference in your professional life. With that, I would like to thank you.